flagship phone for only 12,000 pesos? Pwede ba yun? Well, technically, this really isn't a flagship device, but it has so many features that we're looking for in flagship phones that it feels very close to one. This is the Tecno Camon 30 Pro 5G. One look at the device and you immediately know what it's all about. I mean, there are textures happening there and it generally looks great, but let's face it, what really draws our attention is this circular camera module. It holds 3 cameras, and beside it you see the flash and this red recording dot, which they call breathing light. When I first saw it, it immediately reminded me of a camcorder. So mga kids, alam niyo pa ba kung ano ang camcorder? Kung hindi, i-google niyo. But anyway, this breathing light, as they call it, isn't really just for aesthetic purposes. Meron din talaga siyang real life use. So when you're charging the phone, for example, it turns on. When someone's giving you a call, nag-on din siya. Or when you're recording a video, which is of course classic. And you also use it as a countdown timer, which I think is very helpful. As for the display, you get a 6.78-inch 1080p AMOLED display. The refresh rate goes all the way up to 144Hz, which is more than the usual 120Hz that we find in mid-range devices and even some flagships. If you're worried about the screen not being usable outside kasi ang intense ng araw dito sa Pilipinas, don't be. It goes all the way up to 1,300 nits. So yes, kahit maliwanag pa sa labas, you can still use the phone. I also want to note that it uses Dolby Atmos stereo speakers. So if you watch a lot of videos, you won't just enjoy the good video quality, but it sounds really good too. So, design check, display check. So, kamusta naman yung performance ng Tecno Camon 30 Pro 5G? So, it runs on a MediaTek Dimensity 8200 chipset, which is one of the best processors for mid-range devices. It has 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. So the combination of a good chipset, 12 gigs of RAM, and high refresh rate makes the phone really fast, really responsive, and very much capable of multitasking. Oh, and you can extend the RAM from 12 to 24 gigs using memory fusion. I personally don't think I'll need it, but the option is there. Let's talk about the software because it has some fun and useful features. It runs on iOS version 14 based on Android 14. And what are some things that it can do? Well, first, you can customize your wallpaper using AI. So just type a prompt, pick a style, and you have your very own unique customized wallpaper. You can also choose your very own cute pet. So there's a cat, a wolf, a bird. I think I'll go with a cat for this one, and this is just on the always on display setting. There are also some safety features that I appreciate, like unlock capture. So if somebody tries to open your phone and fails, the phone will take photos of that person so you know who's trying to get to your information. Second is power off verification, wherein you have to input your password before your phone turns off. So by no means do these additional security features, make your phone NACO proof, but it's great that they're there. Now on to the most exciting part, the cameras. As mentioned earlier, there are 3 rear cameras, a 50-megapixel main shooter, another 50-megapixel anti-distortion ultra-wide camera, and a 2-megapixel depth sensor. What's great about the main shooter is that it has a Sony IMX890 sensor. And alam naman natin that many flagship devices use Sony sensors. And so while it's not necessarily this one, the fact that this uses a Sony sensor gives me a lot of faith in its camera capabilities. Here are some sample shots so you guys can see for yourselves kung kamusta ba talaga yung camera performance ng Tecno Camon 30 Pro 5G. So, from landscapes to portraits to well-lit shots to low-light shots, generally, I think the pictures look great and they're just really post-worthy, especially for socials. Even the 50-megapixel selfie camera performs well, and it comes with eye-tracking autofocus. So, what do you guys think? Of course, these days, I think we take just as many videos as we do photos. So, kamusta naman yung video quality ng Tecno Camon 30 Pro 5G? Well, you can shoot 4K 60 on both the rear and the front camera, which is great. But I think that the sweet spot is 4K 30 para may stabilization na rin without using a tripod. Of course, if you want to be extra with your videos, then you can always use a gimbal like the DJI Osmo SE. So it's small enough, it folds, you can bring it around everywhere. You can shoot using 4K 60 and you'll still have that smooth, stable, professional looking video with the help of the gimbal. Ooh, I also have to tell you about this just because it's so much fun. Still on the cameras, there's AIGC Portrait, wherein it takes 4 pictures of you and places it on some AI-generated portrait. So, masaya lang siya. I'll show you mine. Ito yung akin. But, it reminds me so much nung nauso yung yearbook graduation photos a while back. Para siyang ganon, but for your smartphone. Lastly, this phone has a 5000 mAh battery with 70-watt fast charging. So, it can go from 0 to 100% in less than an hour. So, you'll never run out of juice. And when you do, mabilis lang yung charging, sobra. There are a lot of things to love about the Tecno Camon 30 Pro 5G, from the design, the cameras, the performance, the battery life, and all the fun added features to it. It just really gives us a, close to flagship feels, and for the price, that's such a steal. The base model, the non-Pro version, starts at $11,999, and you can get the Pro version exclusively on TikTok for $19,999, and the Premier one at $23,999 pesos. So, more pricing details and promos on the description box. And that's it. Those are my thoughts on the Tecno Camon 30 Pro 5G. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this a phone that you will consider or not? Just let me know. Anyway, my name is Leia. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!